Hey, beautiful folks, time for some food, brunch, or dinner, whatever your time. Basically, I'll be telling that I've been writing business plans for 22 years now, or since 98, but professionally competing since 2000 once I came to the US. And I've written business plans for guys who have who are probably proxies for very famous people like Jeff Bezos. So I wrote a business plan in 2008 when the market was being remade, US economy as also the world economy, like especially Iceland, Ireland, Dubai, Greece, and other countries linked to US, so like China, India, Mexico, and others. I wrote a business plan for Jeff Cohen of, like, he used some Benz dealership in Los Angeles. I never met him. I would find clients on Craigslist, and of course, we'd speak over the phone and via emails. And at one point of time, I also lived at a client's house when he invited me, although he paid me more for the business plan and working remote than when I was at his house for a month. I mean, he didn't pay me anything really. Um, Chris Arnold butler, like, well, funny thing, I had met the butler of Colin Powell when I had gone to his house to seek his son's, as a board of director member in lieu of him. Generally you don't hire cabinet secretaries, especially if you're a foreigner, you hire their sons. It's a very common practice. So like Jason Thompson also I approached, who worked for Darshan Singh Dhaliwal of Rakha Technology Services, RTS. And funny thing, one of my companies was named Rakshak, and then Barak came in. Rakshak means protector. So Jeff Cohen, and then I revised his business plan after. I didn't finish the business plan, wrote the summary, sent him a first draft or something, and then we didn't speak for quite some time. And then in 2009, I revised it, although he didn't pay the full sum. I think the revision part was free of cost, but I did it just to mend fences. And then one of the ladies I wrote a business plan for, and we had a fallout, was talking about National Security Agency. When I was not ready to finish a business plan, she talked about NSA and said, Raj, it's about your word, Raj, it's about your word. And at that point, I ended up writing a national impact business plan in a day for some Simon. Although I knew that probably he would shortchange me, because he wrote a check for 1,200 and gave me only 300 bucks. And I kind of knew intuitively and even logically that the check would bounce, and it did. But anyways, eventually Bank of America paid $2,800 another way in 2012. So guys, and yeah, Alibaba, I wrote a business plan called Luminox, and I had just won my asylum April 21st 2009. Prior to that, my Pakistani wife had won asylum after a huge court battle. And we had a team of lawyers, about 9 lawyers, 7 and then 2 earlier. So 9 lawyers from Latham and Watkins, like Ellen and Laura, like Laura Bush, and Ellen like Michelle and Elizabeth. So we won the case, and Luminox is the business plan I wrote, and I visited him in Pleasanton, Dublin, Livermore, Pleasanton. So Alibaba is the biggest Chinese company. Jack Ma is the richest Chinese guy. There's another guy called Shangji, who came close like Mason Kashan. He had become a water billionaire, 95 billion. Funny thing, I got, I didn't eat or drink for 9 days, and on the 10th day, they gave me IV water, dextrose and water, and then again once on 12/21 for almost a day, especially on 12/1. So $95 billion from water business, and probably something more. But Jack Ma is recognized as a billionaire. Alibaba, they're into cloud. They're competing with Google and Amazon and Microsoft and IBM. Amazon as a store, but they generally sell to small businesses, and it's a B2B rather than B2C. But you can also order as a consumer, but usually it's B2B. So shop owners or businesses or people who are into export import order from Alibaba. Then they're into cloud business, and they're also selling domains for $390, competing with $10 domain of GoDaddy. So I'll be registering a domain soon. Alibaba, Luminox, and yeah, I'm an asylee, and Barack, like Jack, was the president then, under who I got asylum right after he came in. Although my application went in the day of his election, and then Bush was in office when my wife got asylum, and this Jack Ma is Chinese. So Chinese Indians are called South Asians. They're not Indians, are not Indians, and all other South Asians generally not called Asians. When you think of Asians, you will think of yellow people. So pretty much all Chinese or ethnic Chinese of Malaysia, Singapore, Philippines, Myanmar, wherever, and then Bangkok and all that, and then Japanese, Chinese and Japanese, ethnically, like even Koreans, but so asylum and Luminox. So it's big, and I also wrote a business plan for Rata Garrett, Rick and Rata Garrett. So for Camp Pendleton Thai restaurant to serve right on the outskirts of Camp Pendleton, where U.S. military is based. About 2 hours from San Diego, between near San Diego and Los Angeles, both strategically placed. So it's called Camp Pendleton. It's one of the largest U.S. military bases in mainland U.S. So we wrote a Thai business plan so soldiers could get some non-official U.S. military food. They can have some Thai cuisine or Asian food, which is because Thai food is not spicy per se. It's like sweet. They use peanut and sweet curry and less red chili. So it's not as spicy, and Americans can eat it. And I also wrote a business plan for John, some coles. So coles, whatever. He paid me $75 an hour. Chris Arnold Butler, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, the governor of California, and lived at his house. And several other guys, Cynthia Donnelly, and then Donald Trump renewal retreat on site. Cynthia, like CIA, and Donnelly, one Cinderella story, and Donald Trump came in. So that was also in 2008, and I also built her website, but unfortunately we didn't finish the payment integration part, so I didn't get the $750. That's still pending. After I came here, I lost touch with all these people. That email plan for real, I have 4 of those, got locked because my laptop got stolen, Samsung one. So that account is gone, as also Yahoo. So I basically forgot the password, or somebody would have changed it. They would have hijacked the whole laptop with everything signed in. I had tons of business plans. Yeah, and Dale Newton, like DN Dad, Wisconsin Madison, where I did significant. He paid me over $100,000 in business plans and software and website work that I did for him. A good bit of that money was used to pay my employees, and I also was stupid to pay a scammer from mill.com $11,000 to marry me when I really didn't need anybody. All these college girls, from students to all the way to teachers, and even PAs, postdoc researchers, and even professors were falling for me, and we dated and some multiple times, but of course I never mated or asked them to marry me. I should have, for visa reasons, obviously, and even otherwise everybody needs a mate, and I like American girls. What everybody is attracted to light. But anyways, guys, long story short, my business plans have made massive impact, and yeah, I also wrote plans for mid-market grocery store, and quite a few business plans for others other than my own, for UCS, like US, IRC Solutions, Rakshak, Real Cool Health Network, Digital Dictionary. So there was Dick Cheney then when I competed for that. Multilingual keyboard, like linguist program of military Mavni that gets you green card to citizenship status in only 6 months, or even from asylee to citizenship in only 6 months, and then US, and then Langley, like CIA, Central Intelligence Agency. Basically, guys, when I remember the names of other business plans that I've written, Sweat Boot Camp, so boot, like military boots. So that Chris Arnold Butler, San Diego, they have military over there, and they have this huge border, U.S. Coast Guard with Mexico. Because initially California and all the western and southern states were part of Mexico. U.S. annexed it and also got it from France, Louisiana Purchase. So otherwise, basically U.S. got like roughly the size of Mexico, free from Mexico, annexed and by Louisiana Purchase from the French, who got it from the Spaniards. So guys, like, share and subscribe please.